Ottawa, the capital of Canada. Chosen by Queen Victoria on New Year's Eve 1857 as the principal city of the province newly formed in 1841 when Upper Canada and Lower Canada united. Her decision settled the dispute between Toronto, Kingston, Montreal and Quebec City, all of whom had been vying for the title. Already a burgeoning lumber and fur trading town, situated at the confluence of three great rivers, Ottawa's selection was further reinforced by the completion in 1832 of the Rideau Canal, which connected the Ottawa River to Lake Ontario near Kingston. This allowed for river trade between Montreal and Toronto without having to run the gauntlet that was the St. Lawrence River with the United States on the southern shore in the years following the War of 1812. Shortly after Queen Victoria made her choice, in May 1858, the Department of Public Works announced that a competition would be held for the design and construction of the parliamentary buildings, which would include the House of Commons and the Senate, and the East and West departmental buildings, which would contain the various offices of government. 298 proposals were received. After whittling these nearly 300 entrants down to 3, the construction of the East and West departmental buildings were awarded to the team of Thomas Stent and Augustus Laver. The design of the buildings is pure Gothic revival, with tall arched windows and decorated columns. Construction of the West Block, the subject of these videos, was started in 1859 and it was completed, late and over budget, in 1865. It is constructed with mass masonry walls consisting primarily of Nepean sandstone rubble and a snake bonding pattern typical of Scottish stone buildings, and accented with cut stone from the Berea Sandstone Formation in Ohio. In addition, there are highlighted relieving arches and polygonal panels constructed with red Potsdam sandstone from Upper New York State. The interior face of the outside walls is constructed of local limestone, with alterations and additions carried out with brick. The interior partition and support walls are also built of brick. In preparation for the restoration and refurbishment, the building has been stripped right back to the bare walls. A large and complex scaffolding has been erected on the 7 walls that comprise Phase 1 of the contract. These walls need to be completed first to allow for the excavation of the courtyard and the northeast pavilion areas, which are essential to the project's critical path. The scaffolding is tarped in and heated during the winter months and has a solid roof constructed over it to protect the workers from rain and snow. In spring, the scaffolding is ventilated by removing some of the tarpaulins to allow for fresh airflow and natural light. Compressed air and water are available at all levels of the scaffolding to ensure that the masons and their assistants have the support systems they need in close proximity. This, along with the environmental controls in place, ensure pleasant and consistent working conditions. These conditions are also essential to the proper curing of the mortars being used. Many different types of intervention are being carried out here, from the very biggest, where we'll remove whole sections of wall, whole sections of colonnade, take it right down and rebuild it all with new mortar, right down to the cleaning methods for the capitals, where great concentration is required, using dental tools to remove the crust of airborne pollutants that stuck to the stone over the years. There are 9 different mixes of mortar being used on the project. All of these are mixed in the central mixing shack. The ingredients of every mix are closely monitored, and the sand is bulked to calculate the moisture content in it. Vicat cone penetrometer readings are taken of every single mix, and the air content and compressive strengths are tested by independent testing companies almost daily to ensure compliance with the specifications. Whole towers are being dismantled and rebuilt. We even took the huge roof off the Laurier Tower to save us the engineering headache of supporting it while the work was carried out over 2 years. Not that we didn't have an engineering problem to discuss before we made the lift, but that's another story. And I loved what he said to me, because he said that he built something and he noticed the mistakes. And it wasn't good enough that he'd noticed the mistakes and wanted to fix the mistakes. Now I know you all do it. I know that the guys who've been on this building crew for a long time, I know you all do it. You're watching as you go. But I love this attitude. If you make a mistake, man up, tell me about it. Know yourself that you've made a mistake. This is knowing yourself again. Is it quality? If it's quality, great. If it's not quality, let's take it apart and do it again. And if you're being true to me, and true to yourselves, and true to the rest of the company, you'll only put in for 7.5 hours, or whatever long it takes you to do it, fix it, right? That's just good masonry, okay? The other thing is that we've got, I still see guys using mortar that's far too wet. You've got to be very careful using mortar that's too wet with this stone. There's some messes happening. I know it'll clean off, but it takes time to clean it. It's much better if you've got the mud just right. And I know that sometimes that's difficult. Sometimes I would take, if I'm working with big heavy stones, take a couple of scoops of mud out of the bucket, put them on the scaffolding, and let them dry a little bit. Let the moisture get out of them a little bit before you pick them up and put them on the wall. And that'll give you some time to get your stones set without the snotters coming out onto the face of the wall and you having a problem to clean up. Okay? Any questions? Right? Be safe, be happy.
All I'm going to go back on.
Happy birthday, Jim! Happy birthday, Jim!
Apprenticeship is very important to us. In the next episode, you will meet one of our young apprentices who didn't want to be a mason at all, but after meeting our crew decided that was how he was going to spend his life. That is another story that we'll tell during the course of the coming months.
Okay, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and you're gonna go, yeah! All right? 1, 2, 3, yeah!